And I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it, forward motion on everything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 4WORDS Monday. It's D-Rock, Delroy, Valet, your guy, and I love y'all, man. Man, I love y'all. So, let's get into it, right? Last week we talked about knowing self. Today we're going to talk about understanding others, okay? You know what it is, 4WORDS Monday, living to be known is the 4 words, and today, in light of understanding others, we're just going to talk about that as it goes with living to be known, right? Belief, knowledge, practice, relationship, communication, and finance. So yeah, let's do this. Understanding others. I think there's a few key points that I like to keep in mind when it comes to other people. I like to keep in mind the individual as well as the community, because the two go hand in hand. They have an impact when it comes to looking at someone's life or listening to someone's story or just engaging with other people in general. You might not know the specifics, but I mean, it's good things to keep in mind, right? The individual and the community. It's good not to assume things, right? We know assumption is a killer of all good relationships, and that's just one way I use it. Try to be objective in understanding others. We say objective because, you know, sometimes things tip the weight on the scales, and then you don't have really a clear understanding, a clear perspective, a clear view. You're not going to get the whole story if you can't happen to be objective when it comes to understanding other people. Also, try to be empathetic. You know, try to feel what a person feels, see what they see, stand in their shoes. You know, don't focus so much on yourself, but understand that they're just a person like you are, and so they go through a lot of the same things that you go through. And so being empathetic is not too hard. Understanding is not too hard. You might not be able to completely relate, but to understand, it's a different vehicle. And last but not least, I think, well, not last but not least, but as far as what I got to say right now, I like looking at those things because bias-based truth isn't really true at all. Yeah, I think I would say that. If what you determine to be true is only based on your bias as far as your understanding and what you know and what you think, as if you haven't observed others and can be no respecter of one particular, then yeah, your bias-based truth isn't really true. The truth is the truth, no matter whether you agree with it or disagree with it, and somebody else agrees with it or disagree with it. At the end of the day, either it's true or it's not. So if it's based on your bias or my bias or someone else's bias, then I wouldn't consider it the truth. Now, if it's true and you choose to make that your stead, then take that for what it is, and all right, I won't knock you on that. So, belief, knowledge, and practice. What we understand about others and what we believe about others comes from our interactions, right? It comes from our parents, it comes from our school, it comes from the media, it comes from all these different places. But at the end of the day, we should know exactly what we believe about other people. And then we might not be able to fully determine what we fully understand about people, but in light of community and in light of keeping these few points in mind, I think sometimes we have to shake up what we believe about other people and really challenge what we ourselves believe about other people, about anyone in general, from the personal relationship, right, the individual to the community, or the two together. Knowledge. The intake of info that we get how much we get of it, where we're getting it from, the filter, right, in which we pass information, or we receive information, and take that information and make it our book, right, in the back of our brain that spews out everything. If all that you know about other people is what you see in the media, or what you read in a book, or what you've been told by your parents, or the few people in your small town, or the few people in the section of a certain city, then you don't know very much. And I think we should all acknowledge that we don't know as much as we think we know when it comes to other people, and we really don't understand as much as we think we understand. And it's only at that beginning point of knowing that we don't know so much that we can really learn and begin to understand and ask the right questions. Thirdly, in light of your belief and your knowledge about others and how you understand them, that determines the practice, right? How you interact with other people, how you respond to other people, how you reason against other people's reasoning, right? Look at your practice, because you might think you understand people, or you think you understand a demographic, or you think you understand a culture or a subculture, any of those things, but look at what you practice, how you respond to them, how you interact with them, how you reason against their reasoning. And yeah, belief, knowledge, and practice. Just a few things to examine when it comes to understanding others. Now, in light of relationships, communication, and finances, we must know that as far as relationships go, we have past, present, and future relationships with people and other people for as long as we're going to live. Not too many people are surviving as hermits in the world, and all to themselves. I mean, I think that number is very few. You might feel lonely, you might think you're alone, but I mean, relationships are the crux of the things that give us life, right, and keeps us moving. If we were alone, if we had nobody, would we really survive, right? This ain't Castaway. Very few have done it, but that's not to say knock it or say that you can't. I'm just saying relationships are a real and ongoing thing in the world and in life, and it's just the way that it is. So think about your relationships. Think about what you understand based on the relationships that you do have, and understand that those are not the end-all be-all. They don't represent the masses, right? And you really may need to break from what you've only experienced and seen, or what you consider this is all I've experienced and have seen. You might not be looking from the proper lens. So think about the relationships you have, the ones you've had, the ones you have now, and the ones that you want to have in the future. If you want to understand people better and you want to have better relationships with them, that takes time. And you're going to have to stretch and reach and be uncomfortable, but it's okay to do that. Now, communication, your perspective, your ability to listen well, and your ability to question well, will determine how much you understand about others, right? Because assumption is bad. Not being empathetic is bad. Not being objective is bad. Not thinking about that individual and the community at large, and being able to gain perspective, right, outside of what you think you understand about something, to listen to what other people are saying, because if they're saying it, there may be some truth to it, rather than you just saying, well, I don't, that's borderline, or I don't agree with that. You don't have to agree, but you should still listen. I should still listen. I try to, at least. And then ask the right questions, right? A lot of times we ask questions that we want to know. We want somebody to answer for us. And a lot of times we don't ask questions that give us perspective, right? That will feed into our answers without us having to demand something that we're already looking for or may not be looking for. And then thirdly, finances. Well, let's just look. There are true differences between those who have and those who do not have. But there are all similarities, right? We all have to survive and eat and be clothed and want shelter. And we need finances to provide most of these things. And so there are true differences in how we experience life and understand others based upon the financial structure that we've grown in and know and dwell in, so to speak. the financial community that we live in and dwell in and move about in, and the impact that finances have on people's lives. That kind of comes down to systems, and I only say that because we all move throughout and in different systems, and we see those systems in different lights, in different perspective. But it's a very true thing, and it's something that we need to keep in mind. So I know I've done it again. I've made a long video, but these are the things I think about, and these are the things I hope we are all thinking about. I think this is what living to be known has to do when it comes to understanding others. Not in this full, but right now for how I feel and what I'm doing and how I'm thinking. Yeah. So take that and run with it. I love you guys. Keep looking out for videos, more posts, my blogs, my website. I love you guys. And I hope that we continue to have conversations, because most of what I say and most of what I get comes from you and my interactions with you. So interact back with me. Keep up with the YouTube, the music. Hit me up on my email, hit me up on my website, hit me up on my blog, hit me up on my social networks. Call my phone. You know, that's what it is. But yeah, it's 4 Words Monday. We're gonna keep doing this. Forward motion, right? Is the action, and that's living to be known. So I hope you're doing that. Respond to me. Let me know how these things are going. And like I said, I love you. And see you again next Monday, right? Because it's your favorite day of the week. Yeah.
And I could point out all the things about how bad this life can seem, but we work hard, we making it. Forward motion on everything.